Hello and welcome back to Noda Pro. This is the channel where I'm documenting my journey to go from a, average, below average, horrendous crap runner to the Brisbane Marathon winner of the Olympics in 2032. Now, still a couple of years out from that, but it's a journey. I'm not sure if I've been a runner for that long. I said I've just started being a runner. Now, I was, if you've seen my other videos, I used to call myself a cyclist, and then I used to call myself a triathlete. So calling myself a runner is a new thing. I've been running for, I'm gonna say 10 years, but just calling myself that term is new. And I have learned over the years quite a lot of things. Now, you might be surprised to know that there's a lot of crossover between the endurance sports, between cycling, triathlon, and running. And what I've noticed is there's runners are behind. And so I've got a few gripes which I want to go through today, which will detail the sort of stuff that I've learned through these other endurance sports, but it seems to be like, I don't know, taboo, or just like, these guys don't believe it's a thing. Really? So, what am I talking about? Let's start with endurance. Now, the main theory in running seems to be your longest long run for a marathon is 20 miles or about 32 kilometers. Now, in triathlon, you're doing a marathon off a bike, a 180k bike, off a 4k swim. Now, most pros are doing that in training. When you look at cyclists, their races are, I think I even mentioned it when I was in training, like the races are about 120 to 200k long. I would do every other day a 150k ride. I would do the distance. For some reason, runners are allergic to running the distance. Now, right now, as you guys will know, I'm just talking shit. I've never done a marathon. I'm training for one, but I've never done one, so I don't know how beneficial it is to do one in training. But I 100% believe in over distance. As you guys, as long-time viewers will know, I want to get to the Olympics. Now they're running almost 2 hour flat marathons. Now, I want to do that speed, but I'm going to continue doing 3.5 hours as my long run. Well, that's not going to be enough now because probably close to between 4 and 5 hours, but it's enough time on the feet. If you're doing 3.5 hours as your marathon time, you should know that you can run for 4 hours straight without dying. If your long run is 3 and it's an easy long run, how can you expect to push an extra half hour at a hard pace? If you haven't done it in training, you can't do it in a race. It's pretty simple and straightforward. I'm pretty sure like all sports do that. So, but running just seems to be up their own opinions, incorrect opinions, my opinion. Look at that little sticky on this. Next one I want to talk about is fueling. So, as I said, in triathlon and cycling, fueling is well known. Cyclists are doing 120 to 150 grams of carbs per hour. Maybe on the low end on an easy day, high end on intense days. But if you're going out for a 3-hour ride, you're eating 450 grams of carbs. Now, runners, you guys just don't want to eat. And I think that's really hurting like your performance. Because if you don't have enough carbs in the legs, you can't push the speed. And you don't recover as fast. You use up all your glycogen reserves. You're digging yourself a hole. And so when I post online, I talk about how I only have about 90 grams. A mix of like lollies. I've actually stopped lollies recently because I just can't. If they're there, I want to eat them, and I don't like need them during the day. It's just for training. But so I'm just eating them. Like, so one little bag. So like I buy like pineapples and what's the other one? Strawberries and creams. Delicious. Each bag is $5 each. So $10 for that. I get 6 bags. So you're talking about $1.50 to $2 each. When they're on special, it's about $1, which is nice because shit is expensive. Man, this is a tough hill. It's actually raining as well. I'm not sure if you can see in the background, but it is well over 10%. So as well as the lollies, I've also carried gels. Recently, at the moment, I'm winners. They're about 30 grams of carbs each, and they cost about $2. I've also recently bought some of the SAS chews. They're bloody expensive. They're amazing. 45 grams of carbs. They're about $5 each. So if I'm going for, say, 90 grams of carbs, that's 2 chews. That's $10 per hour. That's stupidly expensive. And to understand why people, they don't want to have nutrition because it costs money. But if you want to perform, you gotta eat. Now, from the, you guys probably know the running channel. They're big UK production. And I think Rick Kelsey just did a half a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember what it's called. Hackney half. No idea where that is, but it's London. And he took 2 gels total for the half. What? So if I had 2 gels, that's 60 grams of carbs. Like, that's 40 minutes. Like, that's just not sustainable. Like, if you want to beat your PBs, you gotta eat. Endurance sports, it's not, well, yes, it is about who's the fastest, but also it's about who can eat the most. Because if you don't eat, you're gonna be slow to the finish. My next gripe is running to distance. Like, what if I want to go do an easy run and I've got half an hour? I'm going out for an easy half-hour run. What my pace is? I don't know. Depends on the day. Depends on the course. Like, I think I showed earlier. Running is more hilly, so you go slow on the uphills, but a bit faster on the downhills. Now, if I'm running at, it says 5k at easy pace, then it's like, easy pace is 7 minutes or 7:15 or whatever it is. If I think of 8 because we're going uphill, like, what's this runner? I cannot stand runner. You run to pay, you should be running to time and effort. Pace, unless you're on a track, is irrelevant. Distance, again, unless you're running on a track and you're doing pace, is irrelevant. You should be doing, I'm going out for an hour, I'm going out for half an hour, whatever the time is, that's what you're aiming for. This distance stuff, like, I don't know, why is it only runners that do it? Cyclists don't do that, triathletes don't do that. It's just so confusing. Now, along with that, what cyclists and triathletes do that runners don't is power. I've got a power meter. I use the Stride. It is bloody amazing, super accurate, incredible. But you guys just don't like power. You want to run to pace. as I said, I'm on a little bit of an incline. I can't keep my pace up. I can keep my power the same because I'm going up an incline which is steeper. So power goes up. But if I was running to pace, I wouldn't be doing the session because I'm going too slow. Even though I'm doing the same intensity, as you can tell from my breathing. I know that all power is not the same, but stride is very accurate. It's not very promotion. This is not an advert. It's just what I use and I love. And I'm on my second set because I don't get the last one. It is such a great training tool. And I know a lot of the top pro athletes use it too because they also know, runners don't, but triathletes do, that power is king. It's not heart rate. Heart rate is an important metric, but it's not king. Pace is not king. Power is what you need to be following. My next gripe is people going out too fast. Beginners, they can basically do all their runs as hard as they can. No zone 1, no zone 2, no zone 3. Every single run, every single K is at zone 4. It's unsustainable. You hear all these people saying, oh, I've got shin splints, oh, I've got plantar fasciitis, or whatever else. They're burnt out, they're sick. It's not running that's done it. Well, it is running that's done it. But it's running too much, too hard, too soon. Guys, just chill. Go out for an easy 5K. Maybe it takes you an hour. Maybe I'll do a little bit of walking in between. But keep it chill. Like, you don't need to be pushing the pace and zooming. No one cares how fast you're going, other than you. And that's why a lot of beginners end up quitting, I think. It's because they think running's not for me. It's too hard. I'm getting injured, and they quit. It's not too hard. You're just running it incorrectly. Just slow down, and you'll find you will improve over time. You're just running too fast. The last thing I want to talk about is indoor versus outdoor. Now, I do most of my runs indoor. So if I do 5 runs a week, 4 is indoor, 1 outdoor, like today. Now, my treadmill does not match the stride. It is saying I'm doing, let's say 6:30, when my power meter is saying 8:30. So big discrepancy. But a lot of you runners, you're either one or the other. You either do your classes or you run outdoors, and you do not do both. But what you don't get is that you need specificity. So indoors is great for going easy. Indoors is great for doing the intervals because you set the same pace and you hit it every single time. What it's not good for is these long endurance base work. But what I also notice is you always seem to think that what the treadmill says is what's happening outdoors. No, it's not. As I said, my power meter is saying it's 8:30 per K, but the treadmill is saying it's 6:30. Which is it? I trust the power meter so much more than I do the treadmill. It is so much more. When I do my runs outdoors, I'm not running at 6:30. It's closer to 7:30. So it's faster than the 8:30. But the intensity is a lot more similar to a slower pace than it's the high pace. And you guys can't seem to differentiate. You think, oh, the treadmill says I'm running at 4 minutes per K. So I'm running at 4 minutes per K. Whereas in reality, you're probably actually close to 5. So you think, why can't I do a 20-minute 5K? Well, because you're not training at 4 minutes per K. You're training at 5. The treadmill's just tricking you. Now, I hope you guys found this interesting. If you got any other specific gripes about runners, drop them in the comments below. I'd appreciate if you made it this far, so please subscribe. I see a bunch of people make it here, but then they just move off. So please subscribe, it really helps the channel. I spoke about nutrition. I can't wait to get monetized so I can afford to buy more of the good stuff and it doesn't bankrupt me. Because it seems like that's where it's going at the moment. Spending hundreds of dollars per week. It's ridiculous how expensive running is. But as always, train hard, train smart, make sure to like and subscribe. See you guys next week. Ciao.